All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today, I'm just going to simply entitle this lesson, Negro Wake Up Call, because I'm going to feature, two clips to show that, this particular nation of people, hates us. When I say this particular nation, I'm talking about the nation of Edom, which is the so-called white man, because you still have a lot of our people that clearly can't see that that nation of people are our enemies, along with the other nations, but primarily them. They are our enemies, man, So just pretty much taking, that title from pretty much, the brother Malak here in the GMS Detroit camp, because that's what our people need, a Negro wake-up call, So I'm going to play these two clips and then bring out a few scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point.
Wow! 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 Wow!
So as you can clearly see, the caption at the top, it said YNs, which means, young niggas said these the ops. And in reality, yeah, those the real ops. But, you young niggas ain't gonna do none of them, But, you got all that warlike mentality towards, your own brothers, another man that looks just like you. When they're walking down the street, faces covered, obviously, Nazi flag saying bow down nigger, So they're letting it be known, which is good, man. And this was in Ohio, I forget which city, if it said it, man. But, it's literally happened recently, that movement, which pretty much, this is Esau trying to reclaim his country, trying to reclaim America, But as we know, America, aka Babylon the Great, is going down. There's no reviving this place. America will never be great again, So I'm going to play this other clip that I came across.
This college student says living with her roommate actually made her sick.
This is beyond ridiculous.
Chanel Rowe moved into her dorm at the University of Hartford in Connecticut in August. Her assigned roommate was 18-year-old Brianna Brochu, and they did not get along.
I felt like I was unwanted.
Pretty soon, Chanel says her throat started to hurt.
While I've been here, I've been getting sick.
Finally, Chanel had enough and moved out. That's when Brianna posted this shocking admission on Instagram. After 1.5 months of spitting in her coconut oil, putting her toothbrush places where the sun doesn't shine, and so much more, I can finally say goodbye, Jamaican Barbie. Brianna's antics may have given her roommate a bacterial infection in her throat. Chanel's Facebook video has now gone viral. It even got the attention of top TV producer Shonda Rhimes of Scandal fame, who raised this inhumane, ignorant waste of space. The University of Hartford has expelled Brianna, and she was arrested on breach of peace and criminal mischief. Police are also considering charging her with a hate crime.
And indeed, man, there you go. There you have it. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, man. If you're an Israelite, of whatever respective tribe, but especially if you're of the tribe of Judah, understand that the nation of Edom hates you. Nothing about that is going to change, man. These people have a perpetual hatred for us, man, which the word perpetual, means, just roughly, it pretty much means a long time, everlasting, Because again, man, that ancient hatred that these people have for us is coming back. The Lord is going to put that spirit back on them in these last days, you know. So just to play that real quick, and pretty much is going to go back to where this hatred really, started, with two men. And who were those two men? Jacob and Esau, So I was going to start in Genesis 27, which is real quick. I'm going to start in the book of Genesis 25, just to pretty much get the origins, man. So I'm going to start with Genesis 25 and verse 21. And it says, "And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord," meaning she went to a prophet. She wanted to know why, her children were fighting inside of her womb, Verse 23, and it says, "And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger," And it says, "And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now he wasn't hairy, he was red like an hairy garment. Now you do have hairy Edomites, but overall they're saying he came out red, because if you think about it, every nation of people on this earth is a different shade of brown, except for one nation of people. Who's that? The Edomites. They're red. They're not white. They're red. They have red skin, because their blood shows forth through their skin. It doesn't matter what emotion they show, they're always going to be red. If they're happy, they're red. If they're sad, they're red, especially if they get angry, they turn red, That's their blood showing forth, man. And that's what Esau means. Wasted away is he, because he didn't have pigment. Verse 26, and after that came out, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. So, right, understand that these two, were fighting in the womb of Rebekah. Why? Because of, if you understand reincarnation, this is Cain and Abel coming back as Jacob and Esau, And if you know the story of Cain and Abel, what did Cain do? He slew Abel, because he was jealous because of the sacrifice that he made, Abel offered a righteous sacrifice, by offering the firstlings, of his flock. But what did Cain do? He offered fruit, which he knew the law, but he didn't keep it, So this ancient hatred goes all the way back to Cain and Abel. And if you want to take it even further, really back to the garden, with Adam and the serpent, But sticking to the main point is that the nation of Edom hates the Israelites, man. They hate us all 12 tribes, especially the tribe of Judah, so-called Negroes, man. They hate us with a perpetual hatred, man. Now I'm going to jump back to Genesis chapter 27, just getting to the main point. I'm going to start at verse 38, and this was after, Jacob pretty much supplanted, Isaac out of the blessing, because, it was really set up for Jacob to get the blessing anyway, but this is how the Lord wanted it to play out. Isaac was blind, and Rebecca, Jacob's mother, excuse me, Salakia, pretty much, had him, supplant Isaac out of the blessing, you know. He didn't know he gave, Jacob his blessing, but Esau was upset because he knew what had taken place. The first encounter, Esau sold his birthright, for that pottage, He sold his birthright. And then he was supplanted out of the blessing, which if you understand how it goes, man, the firstborn son, is supposed to get, the inheritance after their father, but after your father passes, the firstborn son, but ultimately still it was meant for Jacob to get it anyway, But this is Genesis 27, and I'm going to start at 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And yeah, man, he was a crybaby. He wept because, again, the Isaac blessed him, man. He pretty much, just to give a summary, he pretty much gave Jacob the kingdom, of heaven, But what did Esau get, Verse 39, And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Meaning he's going to get the best of everything. He's going to get the best lands. Pretty much, you have to see on a small level, in certain of these suburban cities, you go where Esau dwells, man, they live in, nice houses. The landscape is nice, says, and the dew of heaven from above. So again, man, right now, you still have, I would just say, the above average Edomites that are still living good, They live in, these nice areas. They can do, whatever they want right now, Verse 40 says, And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And indeed, man, because we did have the nation of Edom in subjection, under King David and King Solomon, and after, King Solomon died, they pretty much got from under us, We also had them in subjection, during the so-called Dark Ages, but, when we ruled in Europe. But they, ultimately got back in power during the Renaissance era, which means rebirth. We'll just say, in the 13th to 14th century, So pretty much again, man, they broke that yoke. So they rule the world right now, man. This is Esau's world. So understand that this nation of people hate us, man. Or let's prove that. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 83. And start at verse 1. And it says, A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. And who are the Lord's people? The Israelites. All 12 tribes, not just so-called Negroes, man. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. All 12 tribes from Judah down to Issachar, man. You are the Lord's people. Verse 4, it says, They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And is that not what they're doing? Especially now in this current time that we're in, now that, we've been awakened, to our true identity, that we are indeed the biblical Israelites, man. What do? Well, no, you're not the Israelites, man. You clearly see the small hats over there. They're proclaiming to be us, but they're not us, you know. We can be, all of these bywords and proverbs, so-called Negroes, niggas, spics, wetbacks, whatever. We can be all of those, but we can't be Israelites, That's them taking crafty counsel, man. That's them trying to cut off the name of Israel, from being in remembrance, man. They don't want us to remember that we're Israelites. Hence the reason why, again, just like the parable of Lazarus and the rich man, like it says, the dogs came and licked, his sores. Pretty much, again, you have these heathen nations that are set up, and, these hoods and these, where pretty much our people live, and they're profiting off of us being in this lower state. This is why you have, all of these gas stations. Who owns most of these gas stations? Elam, or Ishmael. You got Moab with, the beauty supply stores and, these Chinese food restaurants. You have, again, these Chaldeans also. They own a lot of dispensaries, at least here in Michigan. I don't know about any other state, but here you have a lot of Chaldeans that own dispensaries out here, just to name a few. But these nations, they hate us, Verse 5, it says, "For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee." And who is it going to name first? Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom. So Edom was named first, man. The nation of Edom is the main enemy of the nation of Israel, man. Because what did it say in Genesis 25? 2 nations of people are going to be separated, from her womb. Meaning, the Edomites and the Israelites, man. Those are the 2 nations, And obviously Israel was, that stronger, people, obviously. We're a greater nation. We're physically, mentally, and spiritually stronger than these people, But again, we're in this lower state, And as it says in Genesis 27, that Esau, his primary blessing was that he would live by the sword. Hence the reason why, we have a lot of Edomites, they carry these weapons. What's the modern day sword? The gun, and what's the main tool they use to pretty much slay, Jake? They use the gun, And there's so many examples of this happening, man. You got those of our people that get put to death by the police, which ultimately, that's their judgment, because they were wicked, But ultimately, you can see the hatred in, these various police officers. If not police officers, just these everyday Edomites, man. They hate us. They hate us, man. And a lot of you Israelites out there that haven't woken up to the fact that these people hate us, man, you're going to get a rude awakening very soon, Because that alone, those Edomites that were in Ohio marching down the street saying, "Bow down, nigger," that should have been a wake-up call. Like, hey, man, these people hate us. I don't give a damn if, you have a cool white guy that you may work with or that may stay in your neighborhood or whatever. He hates you too, That's the way it's set up, man. These people hate us. And then that's what these ignorant anti-Christians, you niggas that's still into these Christianity, that's who you want to save. You want to save the very nation of people that hate you the most. It doesn't make sense. So I'm going to start over. This is Psalms 83 and 6. It says, the tabernacles of Edom, they're named first. So Edom, so-called white man, says, and the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs of Moab, the Chinese, the Hagarenes, Ham, Gabal, and Ammon, the so-called Japanese, and Amalek, them primarily. Amalek, the small hats, man, the you-wish people, whatever you want to call them, the Jays, man, them, they especially hate you, They're the ones pretending to be you, That's the head tribe of Edom, Amalek, man. It says, in the Philistines, Ham, with the inhabitants of Tyre or Tyre, says Ashur, also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Salah. And these are all the nations of people that hate us, man. All 17 of these nations are against us, man. Because in reality, it's 17 versus 1. Or if you want to be technical, because again, yeah, the nation of Israel is one nation, but we still have 12 tribes, you know. So if you want to be technical, it's 17 versus 12, you know. But we're still outnumbered by these nations, man. And all of these nations that were named, they all hate us, you know. They all hate us, especially the nation of Edom. And you niggas are going to get a rude awakening extremely soon, you know. So I'm going to jump to the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, and verse 10. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And yeah, man, this man doesn't do anything but show violence towards us, man. Especially you so-called Negroes, man. He hates you the most. Of course, he hates all the tribes, but again, he hates you so-called Negroes the most, man. He hates us the most, you know, because again, they're still angry, even if they don't know. It's just within their spirit, you know, they're still angry about that, man. You know, Jacob supplanted Esau out of that blessing. You know, Esau giving away his birthright. You know, they want him back. You know, really the elites, you know, they want, you know, that birthright back, but they'll never get it back, man. You know, because again, it was always set up for Jacob to receive the birthright, you know. So I'm going to jump to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 21. I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. And he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and is furbished, like he added is furbished, to give it into the hand of the slayer. And who is the slayer in this current time? Esau, man. He is the slayer. You know, this man is going to unleash, you know, hell pretty soon. You know, because that's pretty much what we're waiting for this man to pretty much, you know, come down, you know, with that wrath, which I'm going to grab that next. You know, the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12. And it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And indeed, man, you know, and even though this is primarily talking about the elites, you know, coming down upon, you know, really all of the people, but primarily Israel, you know, with that great wrath, you know, sending out their, you know, their martial law troops, you know, to round us up, you know, to throw us in the concentration camps, or to just, you know, just kill us, you know, because that's really what they want to do. They want to kill us all, man. You know, and that's just the truth. And I don't really care if they take this video down for me saying that, but it's the truth, man. They want to take us out. They don't want us to be a nation anymore, you know. But again, even though that's primarily talking about the elites, man, even these low-level Edomites, man, they're going to come down, you know, having great wrath, man. Because there is going to be a civil war. There are going to be race riots out here, man. Every nation of people is going to join their own people, you know. So that's what you're going to see, you know, nation against nation, which I want to grab that in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 7. And it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And the point being, nation is going to rise against nation, and who the primary two nations that are going to rise against each other, the nation of Israel and the nation of Edom, because obviously, the men of the Lord, the men, women, and children that are slated to be saved, we're not going to be, going against these people. We're not going to be, in the mid. Well, we're going to be, in the midst of the chaos, but we're not going to be, doing what our people are going to be doing, man. Of course, our people are going to be fighting against them. The Lord is going to, protect his elect, and then he's also going to lift up a standard, so you have certain of the men of the Lord that are going to receive spiritual powers in these last days to ultimately, protect themselves and their families, But again, man, these people, they hate us, man. They hate us, And I don't understand what's so hard about that for our people to understand, man. Because once Esau loses it, man, he's gonna lose his mind. He's gonna go crazy out here, man. And them marching down the street, that so-called militia, marching down the street, how much more? And they didn't even, what looks to be they didn't have weapons on them, which they probably did. They may have had pistols tucked. But if not, man, that's just them marching saying, bow down, nigger. How much more when all hell breaks loose, man? You ain't gonna be a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, but primarily a Negro sitting there recording, man. They're gonna come after you. They're going to kill you. They ain't gonna be recording, man. Because that's just, right now, a demonstration of what they want, man. Because once all hell breaks loose in this country, that's it, man. Esau's going to lose it because they don't want to lose their precious kingdom, man. But their time is up, As it says in that Revelation 12:12, man, they have a short time. The elites know that they have a short time. And even some of these low-level Edomites, they know, that this place isn't going to go on forever. So I'm going to grab the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 70. And it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So yeah, man, they're going to be like madmen, There's going to be insurrections, again, race wars, man, civil wars going on. You're not going to be able to sit and record the things that are going on because you're literally going to be fighting for your life. Those of you that have not woken up yet. Just like the brother Malak says, man, wake up, Jacob. It's time to wake up, man. It's been time to wake up, out of sleep. That spiritual sleep, that the Lord has a lot of you in, man. Because again, as we know, in this current time that we're in, the whole nation isn't going to get it, man. Everyone isn't going to wake up. Only a remnant, man. Only the elect of the nation of Israel is going to wake up, convert and be healed, But the rest of our people, they're blinded, Spiritually, they're blinded. They can't hear. They can't see, So they're going to be, left out here, So I'm going to end it on this. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and verse 5. And it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So right, man. You hated us, because of the violence against us, man. Blood is going to pursue you, So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All right, Slaki. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the artists of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I say Shalom.